What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Yaffertees. This is your review for Little Women Atlanta Season 6, Episode 1. A few things to get out of the way. One, I meant to get this video to you all last night. I don't know what happened. It went from recording to just not recording, so when I finally looked up to stop the recording, it wasn't recording. And I just felt like, okay, I'm not even going to continue. I just decided to end it last night. That's one. Number two, I do understand Minnie has gone to glory, so RIP Minnie. But I'm just going to let you know that's not going to stop me from doing my reviews the way that I do my reviews. Period. So if you don't like that, then this would probably be the best time to click off this video and not watch the following videos. And also don't forget to catch me on Sky by Nature TV's channel tonight at 9:15, 8:15 Central Standard Time. So we start this episode off with a baptism, with a skirmish. Shout out to Alexander Rogers. Glasses being thrown. Juicy is hit right above the eye and is bleeding. Then we rewind. Then we rewind to 1 week earlier. So we're at Abira's house. She just moved there from Florida, so she can focus on her rap career. And she's also moved her 4 children with her. And I would assume, since she has primarily been a friend of the cast, I guess now that she is actual a cast member, then it makes sense. Okay, just go ahead and move maturing on down here. Now, in addition to that, we see Juicy show up. She asks her about, management, what's going on, and just says, I'm here if you need me. But um, Abir feels that she just gonna rock this out alone. So it seems like she's not going to be either A, depend on Minnie a whole lot, or B, probably just going to cut ties with her altogether. We shall see. We get Amanda and Minnie. They're working out together. Amanda says that Minnie is an inspiration to her because she has lost 20 pounds, even though she is dealing with the congestive heart failure that she has going on. Minnie is mad at Juicy still from the kickoff show, where Juicy had pretty much alluded to the fact that not even alluded. She just said, when Minnie brought up the congestive heart failure, Juicy said, "Well, given the fact that she has a track record, this could all like a track record of lying. This could also be a lie." Makes Minnie upset, but the reality is, as messed up as that was for her to say, I mean, you can't get mad at her for. I mean, you can be mad at her for it, but she had a. I mean, I could understand why she said it. But yeah, that was a bit of a dagger. Just is what it is. Um, what else? Juicy, not Juicy. Minnie is going to go to her doctor, get the documentation so she can throw it in Juicy's face. Now, on some real ish, if you don't care about a person and what their opinion of you is, you shouldn't have to prove yourself to anybody. But I understand this is a close knit group, close knit community, and because they're Little Women, that's what they have in common. They do what they can to stick together. So, okay, I guess it's all for peace and solidarity, if you will. She brings up Abir's party. Amanda's not sure if they are going to go. She's pretty much sure that they're probably not going to go. Let's see. But one thing that I did see in that is Minnie saying, "I need my girls there." I don't like that because that comes off as you need backup to sit here and do whatever it is that you need to do, and you need for somebody to champion you and be in your corner. And for her to say she's going to throw this in her face, meaning that it's going to be done in a confrontational way, you want somebody there to sit here and have your back. And even based off of what we've seen with Minnie, that she'll start something and she looks to other people to come and take, like, literally come in, join in on the conversation, and now, okay, I can sit here and say what I gotta say, or I'm gonna let these other people fight my battles. I don't like stuff like that. I don't. We get Juicy. Now we're at Juicy's house. Moni shows up because she is going to crash there. Juicy had said to her, since she's going through everything she's going through with moral and infidelity, this, that, and the third, that she can come to Atlanta to crash with her. And everything was all in well until the kickoff special. A lot of things are going to stem from the kickoff special. So she's upset because Moni did not defend her. So when Moni gets there, she tells her, "Okay, we'll leave bags outside. Let's come in the house and talk." And she says to her, "I'm upset you didn't defend me." And she's like, "Well, one, this didn't have nothing to do with me, and two, you were handling it on your own." Facts. And then Juicy said, well, in addition to that, you didn't check up on me afterwards because when the kitchen got a little bit too hot for Juicy, she got up and said she wasn't filming anymore, and that was pretty much the end of the kickoff special. So you can clearly see that Juicy was disturbed in her spirit. So in this instance, if you do see your close friend, is crying or whatever, why not either a go back there and comfort her, or I guess in doing that, it kind of shows that you're on one side rather than the other. But why not contact her and be like, "Hey, is you good?" So I understand it. Now, what I don't agree with Juicy with is if there were these issues, why not call her? Even though I know you expect her to call you, but why not call her before she drove or flew from Texas all the way to Atlanta just to have this conversation? And Juicy pretty much tells her, when you can show me that you are the friend that you claim to be, well, you're going to stay in the hotel. And it was messed up. I'm sorry, I laughed. I mean, it was some shady ish. Now, I'm one of those where if I extend an invitation, more often than not, I want to just see it through. It just, unless you didn't straight up did me dirty, I'm not going to rescind it. But in a situation like this, I would have definitely called and got clarity before having somebody come. Because again, to me, I'm petty. I'm not that petty to just be like, okay, I ain't gonna say nothing, let you get all the way here and embarrass you, and then not let you in my house. I'm not that petty. Definitely not. Um, let's see what else we got. So now we get Andrea and Chris. Andrea, she hopes success comes fast because her children are still staying with her mother because they're little people, and there's health complications that they have that she can't attend to. So she's hoping that success comes fast so that she can have her children at home with her. So we have that. In addition to having that, she's upset because Amanda isn't spending a whole lot of time with her. And see, Chris was the voice of reason. Now, nothing against Chris, but Chris been on that ish, been on that fuck ish, and the fact that he is the voice of reason lets you know that, oh my lord, it's bad with somebody who typically is never the voice of reason, and somebody has to be the reason for them becomes the voice of reason. But he let her know, like, well, when it comes to her, you know, her priorities have changed. It's time she's putting things into perspective. She's married now, so she has to sit here and give this time to her husband. It was one thing when both girls were dating. Now she's married, so she has to focus on her family. The thing with Andrea is she feels alone because she doesn't have her kids there. She can't depend on Chris, and that's something that she has to reconcile. So, and the thing is, you never know when Chris is going to get in the tizzy and decide to leave again. So she'll still be alone. But she needs to find her own identity, and she needs to be secure within herself. So we get a beer. She's having dinner with her children, catching up. This, that, and the third. Moni arrives, and Moni tells her what happened, and the bear's like, "Look, you can stay here. I'm not gonna have you out here looking like that." But she is upset with Juicy because Juicy isn't being a friend to her. What I do want to mention, oh, two things. She tells her about the housewarming and says that she really wants the twins to be there because her daughter wants to meet them. Side note, her daughter is adorable, is an angel, and when I tell you, like, you can see innocence just like coming out of her pores. Beautiful young girl. But I wonder if when she sent the invite to the twins, if she made it clear, like, look, I want you guys to come. It ain't gonna be no BS. I have my children here. One of my children is a little person. She looks up to y'all. She wants to meet y'all, and I want her to see other little people. I don't think she framed it like that. And if y'all watch my review for Real Housewives of Atlanta last night, how I said communication is paramount and effective communication changes things, I think this also is the situation. What else we got? Do, do, do. So then, wait, so now we get Andrea. She has Amanda stop by to help her with a building project because she wants to use this as an excuse to spend time with her, and obviously she's going through things, but she need not be so selfish. But whatever, I'm let her have it. I'm not a twin, so I can't really say what it is. And um, Amanda's telling her like, she's about to work on her solo stuff, and she's getting after what she needs to get after, and is trying to get Andrea to understand like, just as I'm pursuing my own stuff, you need to pursue something for yourself that is independent of me. But Amanda reassures her that they're always going to have that bond, and they will still do some things, not all things, but some things together. So we get a Beer's party. Minnie arrives first. Minnie takes a shot with her and Moni because Moni is already there. Um, Let me see. Phoebe is happy to see the other little people again, just a beam of joy. Juicy shows up, and Moni nor Minnie says anything to her, and Juicy didn't say nothing back, so it's just real awkward silence. So they move outside. Abira asks Juicy why did she accuse Minnie of lying about heart failure, and Moni is looking at her like, "Girl, just leave it alone." But of course, Abira ain't gonna do it, and Abira says, "That's not cool." And Juicy says, "That's your opinion," and then followed up with, "She can speak for herself." Now, again, I'll get to that in a minute. But I understand why Juicy said that because I think has seen this happen before, where everybody else has to fight her battles but her. And I am a person I've been known to fight for, the little guy, because even though I am an introvert, I do have a very large and light personality when I need to have one. But I'm very outspoken, and because for most of my life I've never had anything to lose because I'm single and other people can't really say what they gotta say because they have families and whatnot, I would always be the one to sit here and just shake the table and say what the hell needs to be said. But it comes to a point where, I had to stop fighting some battles for other people and look at them like, okay, well, come on, I just set the foundation, get your ass out here, do what you gotta do. And it's the same thing with this, where Minnie needs to be able to stand in her ish and say what it is she has to say and not look to somebody to either give her a push, start the conversation for her, or just fight the battle all right for her. So Minnie pulls out her receipt and then she shucks it directly into Juicy's face. So when she said she was going to throw that receipt in her face, she physically did that. Now, I understand the aggression, but if you're trying to come to a bit of a resolve, you doing this action is not going to make anything better. It's going to further exacerbate what the situation already is. So Juicy just flings it away. Doesn't hit anybody, but flings it away. Moni goes, picks it up, looks at it. She passes it to Abira. Abira reads it. Abira reads it all. Juicy says, "Well, it could be fake because I know people, that I fake stuff." So Minnie's like, "Who people? Who people? Who people? You didn't even read it. Why the fuck was she reading when you threw it in her face?" Real talk. I wouldn't want to read the shit if you threw some shit in my face. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. I probably would have got up. And well, it really depends on where my mind space is in moments, because again, my mental shifts from moment to moment. I'm one of those in the moment type of people. But if in that moment I'm not on one accord with the Lord, you probably gonna sit here and see me show my whole black ass. It just is what fuck it is. So Minnie is calling Juicy old. Juicy says you wish you look like me. Minnie says you don't even look like you're dressed for a housewarming. You look like you dressed to go clean up Abira's house. That was funny, but Enzo's going back and forth. Abira says to Juicy, my friend. Now it went from Minnie to now Moni. She says, my friend shouldn't have to come to me in 40-degree weather with suitcases. Juicy says, well, it's my house. I don't need a reason. Facts. It's my house. I don't have to give any of you hoes a reason as to why I do or don't want somebody in my house, because it's my house. So anyway, Moni pretty much says that her problems are bigger than these little issues. Plus, she thought that she could lean on Juicy. Um, Juicy brings up, the special yet again, the kickoff special. Moni goes in the house because she ain't got it to do. And even in this moment, I'm just kind of sitting back like, dang, why is Juicy so frigid, so frosted? And then I looked up when she was born. She was born January 5th. Damn it, she's a Capricorn like me. That made all the damn sense in the world as to why she acting the way that she is acting. Now, the way that she was acting with Minnie, I can definitely understand it. Because you lied about being with Pastor Troy. You lied about being pregnant by Pastor Troy. You lied about, having a miscarriage with the baby that you supposedly had with Pastor Troy. So you have a track record for being a habitual liar. So for me to sit here and question anything that you say to me I'm not wrong for that, because it's not far fetched that you could be lying. Understand that. Now the way that she did Moni, I came back Juicy on that. I can't. But anyway, so we get Minnie and the twins. They're out having lunch and whatnot. Minnie brings up a beer's party and what happened there. She mentions how she's in the middle, and the twins trying to figure out like, well, why the hell would we go to her party knowing that we got beef and everything? The twins, just ain't having it. Minnie brings up Juicy and what happened, and also mentions that I believe this is when she said that Juicy was having her eyewear party. Yeah. So we get Juicy and Moni. Juicy called Moni, to meet. She offers her some of her chips and salsa. And Moni like, oh, you're sharing with me? See, now look, I ain't got time for that BS right there. I really don't. Because again, it's shit like this that will set me off. Like if I am genuinely making a gesture for things to be better, and the first thing you do is hit me with some shit like that, man, fuck you. When I tell you, I'll see. I just trust me when I say I ain't got it to do. So anyway, Juicy felt that the energy was weird between them. She's bothered by making her feel bad and even uncomfortable. Juicy apologizes, which I can commend her on that. And she even said, like, regardless of what we had, I should have never just sent you away like that. I should have just kept the invite open and we could have worked through things, while you were there. Agree. Monique accepts the apology and says, to her with everything that she's going through, like she might end up getting a divorce from Moreland because Juicy has been down that road. Juicy reassures her, like, I'm here for you. I'm going to be more of a friend, a better friend. And, you just got to get to a place where you good on your own and you can do things for yourself, by yourself. And she invites her to the launching of her shade line and everyone is invited. So now we get, hold on, where it's at. So we get Minnie and her mama Tammy, but I like to call her the great value Cora. Now I don't have a picture of her from the last couple of episodes, but great value Cora looked like she lost some weight, but it just seemed like her face is kind of sunk in. I don't really know, but just like I ain't seen it for great value Cora GVC once before, I don't see it for now. So anyway, she talks about the housewarming and the lunch meetup. GVC is just telling her, when it comes to the twins and the beer thing, like you just really need to be neutral and just like stay out of the BS with them. Um, Juicy lunch party comes up. Great value Cora says she would go, but be the bigger person. And then she's like, "You're going now." Obviously, they're shooting to show this, that, and the third. But if you clearly see that something is going on when it comes to your daughter, and you just telling her to go, it leads me to believe that you want her to go on some petty ish. So we get Juicy's party. The twins come with their men. The twins don't speak to Abira. Yeah, but vice versa. Abira doesn't speak to them. Abira walks away and she goes off alone because the other girls didn't follow her because she's upset. But this is one of the because she feels she's owed an apology for them not coming to her party. But just like they didn't speak to you, Mama, you didn't speak to them. So it's like at that point y'all could have just coexisted and not said nothing to each other. But okay, Abira is Abira. So the twins are unbothered while Abira is completely bothered. Juicy comes in, walking, and there's a man throwing petals for her to walk on. Really gave me Coming to America. Juicy gives a speech, about bosses bossing up, and then she says, I'm not trying to throw no shade, but not only do I boss up on my shade line, I boss up on my health. That was a jab at Minnie. All the imitators want to be around. I just want y'all to know that was also a dig at Minnie because for everything that Juicy has done, Minnie has either tried to do the same exact thing or something that was parallel. So her doing radio, she doing a podcast. Juicy um, being a talent manager, Minnie doing the same thing. So yeah, I mean, now mind you, it was shady. And when you say I'm not trying to be, but I don't mean to be racist, but I don't mean to do, but what the but come on now, come on now, it don't work. She should have just said, look, I'm gonna be a little bit shady and left it at that. So Abira, hold on, wait a minute. So Minnie wants to leave, but Abira tells her don't go. Juicy walks around to check on the girls. Abira questions Juicy about the shade that she threw. And I mean, Juicy stood in her shit. It's like, well, it is what it is. I mean, if you took it to shade, I mean, you took it to shade, but it is what it is. We knew what you were doing, Juicy, but okay. So some way, somehow, because maybe it was the edit, but Abira now focuses her sights on the twins and asks them why y'all bobblehead ass didn't come to my party. Now, again, communication, tone, volume, inflection, all that good, just all that good jazz. Because she was offended and because she never explained to the twins why she really wanted them there, she could have granted she in her feelings, she in her bag, and I understand it, but she could have easily said, "Hey, Amanda, Andrea, can I talk to y'all over here on the side for a minute?" And all she had to do was just say this in the beer. If you watching it, I'm giving you something, love. I'm trying to help you, because all you gotta do is just say, "I know we have a checker pass, but I invited you to my house extending the olive branch because someone's house is sacred. So if me inviting you there mean that I was trying, and also I have my kids here. My one of my children, my daughter Phoebe, is a little person, and she looks up to you. She likes you. So I wanted her to meet you, and not only that, because we are little people, I wanted her to see the village that I have, and I wanted her to understand that it's okay to be little. Something like that." Something like that. But to sit here and be like, why y'all bobblehead ass ain't come apart, and that right there is a jab. And obviously they feel away because they're all little people. So you're a little person making fun of my features, but we're all little people. It's messed up. So Andrea asked her, why does it bother you that we didn't go? Facts. But one thing, if y'all watch this thing that you call is Amanda ain't giving this no energy. It is Andrea. That says a lot that every time they get into it, it's always Abira and Andrea that are mostly going at it. So something is, and the thing is, you can tell Andrea got shit going on in her life. It's obvious because when you have a certain level of peace and when things going right in your life, you really don't even want to sit here and deal with all that. Which is why Amanda wasn't saying anything. And a lot of the times when you have all this extra you're deflecting and you're projecting your anger from something else off us on the other person, and that's for both Abira and for Andrea. But anyway, and she says, "Why will we go? Why will we go? You're a bully." Both of them saying something to upset the other one. Juicy yells at Minnie and says, "Get your clients." Now, in this moment, she wasn't being the manager, but you're a manager 24/7. And yeah, it's like, you are at my event. These are your clients. But that was also a jab at her, like, since you wanted to do what I did, well, you need to get your clients because apparently you're not doing your job right. That was one of those you had to really catch it if you was paying attention type of shade. So Abira says go to speech therapy. Another dig at things that they deal with as little people. Andrea says they still watching me. Abira like they're your fans. They supposed to watch you. And then Abira goes for an insult, and saliva comes out of her mouth. But it wasn't that she was spitting at her. You know how sometimes you get to speaking so fast or whatever, and it just happens. Andrea does the action of spitting. I don't think the spit connected either way. It is at this point that Abira, with the glass in her hand, throws her drink on Andrea. Andrea throws her drink. I believe at one point Andrea glass either fell out her hand or she released it, hit the ground, it splattered, and then you now have Juicy standing right in front of Abira. Abira is trying to throw the glass, but she couldn't throw it. but it broke on Juicy's head and cut her right above her eye. So now Juicy is bleeding. Moni pulls her off to the side. For a moment, you see Minnie over there, and then you literally just have. I know this shouldn't have been funny, but the funniest scene to me where these girls are being broke up by security, and it's just the itch that you hear where you have Andrea like, you see this? Do you like this? Do you like? I'm sorry, that shit was hilarious to me. And then the beer is just like, why you holding me? It's two of them and it's one of me. They try to jump me. I wanna get jumped. Oh my gosh, I hollered. That was so funny to me. Whew. Was that it? Yeah, that was it for the first episode. Hopefully I gave y'all enough. Um, but yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and upload this. I also have a Pokemon Sword bug playthrough that I'm gonna upload. So they'll probably be up around the same time. So and it's right now 4:09 where I'm at. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to get these last two reviews out. Just a heads up, I have not watched the Bill Collective yet because for whatever reason my DVR is showing that it's recording it, but it's not showing up on my DVR. So I have to catch it later, and that just means that when Friday rolls around, that I'm actually going to have to watch it when it airs. And what I'm thinking that the issue might have been is because, like I said, my mother and I, we share, like I said, we share cable and everything. So I have a receiver, and she has three receivers. And if all four of them are on actively, one has to cut the other one out, which is typically mine. And like I said, I only use the cable when I'm just doing these shows and whatnot. So yeah, I know you didn't ask for that, but I gave it to you anyway. But that's all I got you all. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. I will see you all for the next video, which should be episode 2. Peace out.